My name is Craig Falcon. I am Mskapi Pakani. My real name is Sabinamak, which is Night Gun. I am the cultural advisor for the film The Revenant. Today we're here on Treaty 7 territory at the Banff Centre in Alberta, Canada, just a few kilometers away from the many sites where we shot The Revenant. My first days working in the film industry were somewhat of a fluke. I was sitting at home in Cochrane, Alberta. We were having this conversation about the movies and kind of laughing about the spaghetti westerns and these wigged people that were painted brown as natives. And we started talking about this new native film that was being filmed out of Morley, Alberta, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and the director of Birdman, Alejandro Inarritu, and this amazing cinematographer, Chivo. So I went out there one morning, ended up sitting in the cafeteria probably for 5 hours, just meeting different crew members coming in and out. And this was pre-production, so a lot of people were moving fast, setting things up, didn't have much time to talk. And then I ran to Jack Fisk, who was the art director. And once I gave him my oral resume, he hired me on the spot. Now, the first few days of The Revenant were very stressful for me because I'm used to being in a very structured teacher type setting. But then when I come on the Revenant set, it reminded me of an anthill. And ants are running this way and that way, and it's like chaos. I had no idea who to talk to because nobody had time to talk to you on set. My father told me, you're gonna do something, don't beat around the bush, jump in there and do it. I broke out the paints and I started painting different warrior designs, different medicine designs on horses, and started giving a cultural lesson to everybody that was there about the different designs, what they meant, how the warrior and the horse were actually one unit. And you would see the same paintings on a horse that you would see on a warrior. Then the director came over, checked out the horses, thought the paint was too bright, needed to dirty it up to make it look like, the early 1800s, but he loved the designs. I'm so blessed that my first film, I got to work with people that were Indigenous. Alejandro, Chivo, they're both from Mexico City, they're Indios. So they had that locked in their cell memory already. So there was a hidden respect that we just tapped into. I felt it was really important that if they were gonna do a native movie, they needed a cultural expert. We had a Rikara language coach, and his name was Lauren Yellowbird. Since the film lasted so long, he could only stay for short periods of time before he had to go home, take care of his kids and his job. So I would then become the Rikara language teacher through all of his notes and through phone calls and emails and things like that. So I got to spend time with Leonardo, going over his lines and teaching him new words and stuff like that. It was quite interesting. Because we're in a fort, it's a trading fort, you're trading beaver and things like that, buffalo hides. Some of the signs that we're teaching Leo and the other actors were, this is a sign for trade, this is good trade. Sign for horse, gun, that scraping across is, I've been attacked by a bear. Another one of my duties was reading a script for cultural accuracy. So I received a script one day and it was like reading a great book, Now I'm going through it and there's this war chief in there and his name was Elk Tongue. And I couldn't wrap my brain around the name Elk Tongue because usually a war chief has a war chief's name. It depicts something that he did that was very powerful. So I explained that to Alejandro. I said, this is how we get our names. And to explain that to him, I used my own name. My name was Elk Dog. And how we get maybe 3 or 4 names throughout our lifetime because, we evolve, we change, we adapt. And he really liked that concept of our traditional name giving. So I thought, well, he's got the information. Now he's going to come back with some really powerful warrior name for this war chief. And I'll probably wake up tomorrow and his name will be, you know, Thunder Chief, or, you know, Mighty Earthquake, or something extremely powerful, because it was Hollywood, you know. So I was kind of making fun of it too. The next morning when I got a new script, the entire script was all elk dog. He changed the main character's name to my name. It's personal, and you know, it's really nice to be respected on a major film like that by people that are known worldwide, and I'm just known in Blackfoot territory. The people I need to credit are not from any book, not from any university, school, or community. I learned all of this from two people, and those are my grandparents, George and Clara Nightgun. They're full-blood Mshkapi Pakani people, Blackfeet people. And they grew up with this lifestyle, and they transferred that information, that education to me to pass on to other generations. You know, the 1960s was a huge awakening for African American people on every level. This is our 1960s right now. Everything is coming out of the woodwork. I mean, cultural education, spirituality, wellness. People are finally looking at us and saying, hey, those are human beings, and they had a very structured system, and it's really cool, and it works, and it's very healing. Let's adapt that. So I only see a bright future.